let me start also by thanking you, Everett, for doing this with us today. I think that was very helpful. I appreciate it. And I want to thank everybody for coming today and listening. You know, I don't know that anybody could sit up here from either side and tell you that a different answer to that question without saying, you know, obviously I want you to elect us because I want to answer to the people of New Windsor and that we want to do things for the good of New Windsor, and everybody's going to say that. The question that you have before you is, you know, taking on these positions obviously is something that is important, and you need people who want to do that. And anybody who wants to take on that position, I think it should be commended from either side. My opponent's just the same as Alice sitting next to me, as well as the people who currently do it. But when you're deciding as a resident who you want to actually represent you and to be the person that's your voice in town government where the decisions are made that are now going to ultimately affect you, your family, your children going forward, you have to think who's best qualified to make those decisions. Who's willing to sit up here in your government and say, I'm going to figure out what the problems are and I'm going to figure out an answer on how to fix them. I'm going to figure out what the people want and what's best for them, and I'm going to figure out how to provide that to them. And I'm going to do that in a way that I might not even like myself. But that's the kind of sacrifice and that's the kind of qualifications that you need from a leader. And I offer you that I'm the person for this town council position because not only am I qualified for the position, I have my undergraduate degree from Cornell University in business and finance, which gives me a background to be able to help the town council and work on the town council on things like budgets and projections going forward. And I have a law degree that allows me to know, hopefully, what's right from what's wrong, and what should be done in the context of government. But I have a family, and that's probably more important than any of that other stuff. And when I look at the other candidates, what I say to you is, I'm the person who's here, who came here with 3 young kids. One's in elementary school, one's in junior high school, and one's in high school. And they have to keep living here. And I want them to live here. And you need somebody who wants to be looking at the global view of our town and where it's going from the perspective of those kids and what they're going to be having for them, what's handed down to them 10 years from now, so that that's how we're going to go forward. I suggest to you that the people who are running against me don't have any of those qualifications, and that they're not looking out for the same greater good. They have their own opinions, and I think that's fine. You know, that's what makes our system so special, is the fact that we can all come together. And I spoke to Barney for the first time here. I'd never met him before. I've seen him at meetings. And I said to him, there are different people with different views. And that's respectable, and that's what we should have. And there should be a discourse. And at some point, maybe somebody from the other side of the aisle is going to say something to me that says, that makes a heck of a lot of sense. It's different than what I thought. It's different than what I was originally thinking I was going to do. But be open to change my mind, because that's better. And it's a better way to run things, and it's a better way to do things. And the people running against me don't have that. And that's why I think, ultimately, when you go to the polls and you decide who to vote for, that I'm the right person for that position. And I think the people who are sitting next to me, George and Alice, have those qualities. And that's why they should continue in those positions. But they're going to speak for themselves. So what I would ask is that at the very end, after Everett finishes with Alice and George, that hopefully we take an opportunity. If any of you have questions, this is a great time and a great forum for you to ask them. even if we turn off the cameras and we let Everett go home, I'll stay around as long as anyone wants to talk about anything. Because that's what we're here for, and that's what we should be here for. And that was what was making me angry about the other questions, is that we need people who aren't going to just try and blame people, who aren't going to try and scare people, but we need people who are going to make things better going forward, no matter how we have to do that. And I thank you for listening to me today.